Have you ever noticed how money stress never shows up during the day? It shows up at night, at 2:47 a.m., when everything is quiet and your brain suddenly decides to run worst-case scenarios like a movie marathon. What if I lose my job? What if something breaks? What if one bad decision ruins everything? And the scary part? It's not irrational. For most people, one unexpected expense can throw their entire life off track. But here's the part nobody tells you. There's a specific number where those thoughts start to disappear. Not completely, but enough that your life feels different. That number isn't $1 million. It's not even $100,000. It's $20,000. Now I know what you're thinking. $20,000? That's a lot of money. And you're right. But this isn't about being rich. This is about something way more powerful. Breathing room. Let me explain. Most people live in what I call financial survival mode. Every decision is calculated. At the grocery store, you're not choosing what you want, you're choosing what you can get away with. When friends invite you out, you're not thinking, should I go? You're thinking, can I afford the consequences? That constant calculation drains you. Mentally, emotionally, physically. But something strange happens when you cross $20,000 in savings. Your life doesn't suddenly become luxurious, but it becomes stable. 1. You stop reacting and start choosing. Before savings, life feels like defense. Every bill, every problem, every surprise feels like an attack. But with $20K, you're no longer reacting to life. You're choosing how to respond. Car breaks down? Annoying, not devastating. Unexpected bill? Handled, not panicked. That shift alone changes everything. 2. Your brain finally relaxes. There's real science behind this. When you're financially stressed, your body produces more cortisol, the stress hormone, which means worse sleep, worse decisions, more anxiety, less focus. But when you have a safety net, your brain stops treating everyday life like a threat. You think clearer, you act smarter, you feel calmer. 3. You unlock something most people never experience. Options. This is the real power of $20,000. Not spending it, having it. Without savings, you can't take risks. You can't invest in yourself. You can't say no. With savings, you can walk away from bad jobs. You can take opportunities. You can bet on yourself. Imagine this. A course costs $2,000 but could increase your income. Without savings, impossible. With $20K, it's a decision, not a dream. 4. You stop being desperate, and it shows. People underestimate this. When you need money, people can feel it. In job interviews, in negotiations, even in conversations. But when you have money saved, you carry yourself differently. You're calmer, more confident, less willing to accept bad deals. And ironically, that's what attracts better opportunities. 5. Your daily life gets easier in invisible ways. Here's something subtle but powerful. When you're broke, you make hundreds of tiny financial decisions every day. Should I buy this? Can I afford that? Is this too expensive? That's called decision fatigue, and it's exhausting. With $20,000 saved, most of those decisions disappear. You're no longer optimizing for survival. You're choosing based on preference, and that frees up a massive amount of mental energy. 6. You become a different person. This might be the most important part. Saving $20,000 isn't just about money. It's about identity. Most people try to save like it's temporary. I'll just cut back for a few months. But the people who actually reach $20,000, they become someone who saves. And that identity changes everything. How they spend, how they think, how they plan. And once that shift happens, it doesn't go away. 7. It's not as impossible as it looks. Let's be real. $20,000 sounds overwhelming if you're starting from zero. But here's the truth. You don't build it all at once. Start with 100, then 500, then 1,000. The first $1,000 is the hardest. After that, it gets easier because you've already proven something. You can do it. And consistency beats intensity anytime. Saving $200 a month is $2,400 a year. That's $20K in less than 9 years. Speed it up with side income, you cut that in half. Why $20,000 specifically? Because it covers real life. Car repairs, medical emergencies, job loss, unexpected bills. Most financial disasters fall under this range, which means once you hit $20,000, you're no longer fragile. And that's the real goal. Not being rich, not being flashy, but being unbreakable. Final thought. $20,000 won't make you wealthy, but it will change how you sleep, how you think, how you live. It turns panic into patience, fear into control, survival into strategy. And most importantly, it proves something to yourself, that you're capable of building a life where money is no longer your biggest source of stress. If you're starting from zero, good, because the journey to your first $20,000 might be the most important financial transformation you ever go through.